everybody, and thank you for watching Dan's Video Reviews. Now today, I'm going to be talking about Avengers Infinity War. Now, Avengers Infinity War did just come out on Friday, so I know a lot of you haven't seen it yet. So I'm going to keep this as, bare bones as possible, no spoilers, just talk about what made the movie good, what made the movie bad, not really much detail. Now, if you guys do want one that's more detailed, talking about spoilers, maybe a little bit of a longer length, I will definitely do one, but you do need to tell me that that is indeed what you want. So, moving on from that, I'm going to go into what made the movie good. The action sequences and the characters. Fantastic. The characters, especially that stood out to me, were Spider-Man, Thor, and Thanos. Spider-Man, Tom Holland, he is the quintessential Spider-Man for me now. I actually originally did like the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man a little bit more just because, it was my childhood. Growing up, I watched that Spider-Man movie a ton. But, moving on to that now, Tom Holland does a better job portraying who Peter Parker is. And definitely in this movie, he is amazing. And, Chris Hemsworth, what they've done since Thor Ragnarok has been just fantastic. Thor's gone from, one of my lower tier characters that I didn't really like to, going up there to second favorite, really, under Captain America. So it's just really amazing how in the span of 2 movies they've made Thor just so much better than what he was before. Now, we're moving on to Thanos. Now, in the previous Marvel movies, their villains have been their weak points. Honestly, in this movie, it is their strongest point, is Thanos. You understand his goals. You understand where he has been in his life, why he feels this is the appropriate way to go, and why he feels like he should be able to win in this whole, battle that they're in. So Josh Brolin does a fantastic job portraying Thanos, and he is definitely the standout of this movie. I think that with the action sequences he was given, with the visual effects that they had, it was just fantastic, and my jaw was dropped when watching those scenes. Now that does lead me to the action sequences, which were also very positive. They led you from scene to scene, being able to fluidly make you understand what's going on. You were sitting there and you were seeing all these action sequences going down, and not at one point were you lost, being like, why are they fighting? What's going on? What's this? So that is a huge plus for this movie, especially for a movie with a 2.5-hour runtime that does not feel like 2.5 hours at all. I sat in that movie and I watched it from beginning to the end, completely at the edge of my seat, and I was gripped. But those were definitely the biggest positives of the movie. Now we can move on to what were the negatives. And there weren't much, and these are kind of a nitpicky couple of arguments that I have. And, that is just something that I have to get off my chest. I have these problems, and you guys most likely will not have these problems. But for the first problem that I had was some of the characters didn't really get enough time, so when something happens to them, you don't really care, because at the moment you're not invested in them. You're more, oh man, that sucks, let me get back to the point that I was focused on. Let me get back to the point I was caring about. And it did take away from the movie a little bit for me personally. Now, another negative I did have was a bit of a predictability, with the exception of the final 20 minutes of the movie. So 2 hours and 10 minutes of this movie, I was sitting there being able to predict really what was going to happen. The dialogue, the action sequences, I was like, oh, it's going to go to this, it's going to do this. And it ended up most of the time doing that. There was only 2 or 3 times where something happened that I didn't really see coming. And that is kind of a negative in my opinion, but some people might not care about that, so you might go in there and not have a problem with it. Overall, for this movie, I would definitely say it's very good, definitely worth seeing, definitely worth paying to go see in the theater. You have to go see it in the theater if you really want to see this movie, because the visual effects on the big screen with the sound, it is just fantastic. Now, I'm going to give this movie on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give it a 9. Now, 9, I believe, is the highest score I've ever given on this, because I don't really like to give 10s for movies, especially ones that I do find problems with, because of the fact that there is no perfect movie. I haven't yet seen one, and I don't think that there's going to be one anytime soon. Now, I may be wrong. There may be a movie that I will have no objections with. There might be a movie I love from beginning to end, but currently there hasn't been one. So this movie has gotten close, and I definitely love it, and it's definitely worth the time going to go see, going to go pay for it, and it has definitely deserved the record that I believe it just broke with the highest opening weekend of all time. Alright, so that was my thoughts on Avengers Infinity War. What do you guys think? Feel free to comment below, like the video, and subscribe so that way you can find out what I'm going to be uploading next. There's going to be a little bit more of a variety of what I'm going to be uploading nowadays. It's not going to be, just what movies are coming out and what I think of them, or what TV shows are going to be happening. I'm also going to be doing analysis videos and comparison videos and things along those lines, so please look forward to those, and also hit that notification bell so when I do upload a video, you'll be able to get notified and be able to watch them right as soon as they do come out. And thank you again. Feel free to email me any questions that you have, or add me on Twitter. I will be very active on that nowadays, so just feel free to add me on there and ask me any questions you want to know, and have a great day, you guys.